Now, the last part of your project deals with the interaction of the organism and its environment. So, in terms of the role that your organism plays, we want to talk about whether or not it is a producer or whether or not it is a consumer. So, producers are going to be autotrophs. And what that means is that they're able to create their own food. So, your classic example could be your plants, because plants, they perform photosynthesis. And photosynthesis is the process where plants create sugar. And so that sugar they can use in order to build up their cell plant walls, or they can use it as an opportunity to get nutrients. Now, in terms of consumers, so consumers are organisms that eat other living things. And so consumers are going to be called heterotrophs. And in terms of the pictures that we see here, heterotrophs could be us, they could be this wasp, they could be even this mushroom, where this mushroom acts as a detritive or a decomposer. And so all consumers are not alike. We have some that are scavengers that eat dead animals. We have herbivores that only eat plants, carnivores that eat only animals, omnivores that eat other plants and animals, and so on and so forth. And so whenever you're considering your consumer and your feeding relationships, you have to consider that they may not only eat just one thing. And so that the last thing that leads us to our last thing that I want you to do for your project is the food web. So you're going to show a complex network of feeding relationships associated with your food web. And I believe I asked you for at least 6 arrows. So you're more than welcome to do more than 6. But remember that the arrow always points to where the energy is going to end up. And so you have this fish. This fish is going to be eaten by this shark. Notice that the arrow is going from the fish to the shark. If it were the other way around, it wouldn't make sense. So just make sure that whenever you're doing your food web, that you have your arrows that are done correctly. And also make sure that you label whether or not your animals are producers or consumers. If they're consumers, you have to get a little bit more in depth about their particular role. So going back to this